Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We have a Barnett Banshee quad. I recall I did say something about staying away from Barnett bows, period. But I saw this thing at one of the pawn shops and I thought, okay, it's got dual limbs either side, compoundy. It's even got a sight, which we're not going to use. Of course, non-adjustable for draw length, but it does go to 28 inches. And it does have a relief just like any other compound would. Now, as far as, I haven't gone very far with checking online specs, but I did check it with my scale and it came out to 23 pounds draw. So, and I know it's a 28 inch draw just by holding this thing up. Of course, we got to get these in the right spot either way. A little adjustment we still got to do, but coming in like this. So we've definitely got 28 out of here. So we're doing pretty good that way. So up to 28. Like I said, 23 pounds worth of draw weight. We're gonna try this out. Now I didn't get any arrows with it, of course. And I paid like literally dirt cheap for this thing. So I didn't mind giving it a try because we know that the Black Cat Barnett bow, that thing is utter garbage. And it is horrible. I own it, and yeah, it can't even make a 10-meter trip. The arrow drops in front of the target. It is just that bad now, because plastic limbs are definitely not what you want on any bow for a kid or otherwise. So, but this is a kid's bow, but at least it does have the draw length. And I thought, well, hey, let's see how it actually does. Anyway, normally you would get a couple arrows with this thing, and they're gonna have plastic fletches, which you usually don't shoot off the shelf, and all you are is shooting off the shelf, unless you want to put on a rest. Now for left-handed, I do have left-handed rests. I could install one if I want to, but anyways, we'll figure that out at another point. Now, the one thing that I'm finding a little odd about this is the string is on the correct side for right-handed shooting, but as far as left-handed shooting, because it's a dual riser, well, it's going to be touchy. No, you're not going to shoot left-handed. We're going to have to shoot this thing righty, unless there's a way we can actually take this thing apart safely and change the wheels around. Maybe we'd have to flip the wheels from the looks of things. I guess I'm gonna have to look a little further into this thing. All right, let's just get our nocking point set up and get this thing over with, because this is interesting. All right, so that looks pretty even there. Now I want just a little bit of a gap space. Not too much, not too little. Let's try this out. We're gonna have to shoot right-handed. Okay, interesting. I should be wearing an arm guard for this because, yeah, you're going to need one. That slapped my arm. Doesn't really like shooting plastic fletches, I'll say that. Let's try one off the other side for left-handed. Let's see if it will actually launch it without sending it into the bush. Because I don't care if I lose this arrow. I'm gonna definitely have to camp the bow a lot to keep the arrow in place. At least it hit my backstop. I didn't lose the arrow. Well, let's try something with feathers. We'll try one with feathers, shoot it right-handed. I'm not gonna go too far. Well, they fly straight. Well, on the high side, but try another one. straight. Feathers are definitely what you're supposed to run. That's an obvious point. That went high. Alright, this is the last arrow I'm going to put through this thing. Starting to hurt the arm. I'm not even going to bother with it. Well, what the heck. Let's see how bad it was. This thing is not the straightest kid on the block, that's for sure. Alright. Feather up high. Feather up high. At least we got into the white. That wasn't too bad with the feathers. We got one green with the plastic fletches. And it's starting to peel up my one fletch. I have to fix that. All right. So, if you look real close at the design of this, okay, hold it the right direction. Your main string is to the left of the cables, which is fine if you're shooting right-handed. And these are marked as ambidextrous left and right. You're not shooting left-handed with this. I mean, you couldn't, I don't even think we could put it through the center in between. Let me grab a crummy arrow for this. Maybe if we put it this way, oddball out. So this is where we get into more problems here with fletches. We would be able to draw that back. Let's see what happens. I'll go. I'm not going to go back 10 meters. It's going to kick it to the right. So, well, it looks like Barnett is once again proven not very good. Shooting right-handed is okay. You will freaking need an arm guard, especially if you're a child, because, well, I don't know how well you're going to pick that up in camera, but that was just those first couple shots I took right-handed without an arm guard. It slapped me good. So every shot slapped me. But I don't really see any way you're going to shoot this thing left-handed, even though you're supposed to be able to, unless we actually completely flip the wheels, and that means restringing things the opposite direction and everything just to go for left-handed. Yeah, you would actually, yeah, you might want to consider a bow press just to get it apart. It's only pressure, it's not even pressure fit together, it's just slid together. But there's enough pressure there that it holds it, so, you know, it's kind of like you could just easily, like, flip things somehow. I mean, but I would say it's a right-hand only shooter. It's not ambidextrous the way they say it is. So that's like some really bad marketing example there. Whoever had this thing had the pin sight here set up as a left-handed shooter, but if you look, when you go to notch the arrow in here, what happens is it's pushing down, and when you draw this thing back, you're going to have to literally hold it there, and that could take your finger off until you get it right out of the way, and then it's still going to kick it out to the right anyhow when you release it. So it's a really bad design, okay? It's not ambidextrous for left or right-handed. There's no way. The riser might be, as it's marketed, this thing should shoot left or right-handed, but there's no way, okay? It's not happening. Now, I didn't invest much in this thing. I don't really care. It will shoot right-handed, but when it comes to the arrows, though, the arrows with the feathers flew straight. Even though we got some high and lows, it doesn't matter. They fly straight out. These things, they kick, right? And they're not hitting nothing because this is kind of like a recurve, right? It's acting like a recurve where you don't have a proper rest on this thing for shooting these. You need a proper rest for shooting plastic fletchings, okay? This is not it. Shells are found in traditional bows. Shelf shooting, you could shelf shoot a compound as long as you're using feathers, okay? That's not a big deal, okay? You could also do feathers with a regular rest, but off the shelf with plastic, no. You can't even do that on a normal, you know, good compound bow. You can't shoot from the rest with plastic. It's not going to work for you. You're not going to be accurate. So, but 23 pounds worth of torque, that at least I can say is validatable. They probably called it 20. I have to look up the full specs, but my gauge came out to 23 pounds. So I'm going to call it 23. Draw length is, you know, it's not a problem shooting 28 inch for me. Now, my arm is not all the way out, so it's probably about 27 top end realistically, but I'm getting the locking point to 28, but without fully extending my arm. So I would still say it's 28 realistically, or close enough to 28 that it's going to be functional without any issues, as long as you're not past 28, which kids aren't, okay? Anyhow, I don't know about the sight on this thing. It's kind of a cheesy little dumb thing as far as I'm concerned. Maybe, well, I don't even think that would even work if we even flipped it upside down to try and stabilize it. Yeah, see, if we were going to use that as a resting point, that might, well, now it's off. So, okay, it's just a pin sight. That's all it is. And yeah, we'll put that back on later. So here's my thoughts on this. If you find a bow like this, I don't care what name's attached to it, but you find bows like this, okay? If they say ambidextrous and it's a compound style, they're lying. They are not ambidextrous. They are not left and right-handed. They're likely right hand only because the string is on the left side of the cables, which makes it right hand only shooter, okay? That's just the way it is. It's not going to go opposite. If you bought something like an Indian bow, which is a recurve or a longbow style, yeah, those are left and right-handed. Now you will either have a dual shelf, but you only got one string. That's it. That's all you worry about. One string. Okay. Not cable system. Cable system is always compound, so keep that in mind. But how much time? Oh, we're only at 13 minutes. Okay. So, but with this, no. This is definitely for right-handed shooters. That's all there is to it. So if your youth that you're buying this for is left-handed dominant, left eye dominant, they need a left-hand bow in order to shoot properly. Okay, now, yeah, anybody can train themselves, but if your dominant eye is your one eye, it's very, very difficult to recalibrate and retrain your other eye to become the new dominant. It's a whole weird science, okay? So basically, if you're left-handed, left eye dominant, you go with a left-hand bow. If you're right eye dominant, right hand dominant, you go right hand. And that's all there is kind of to it. Right is right, left is left, and that's all there is. So, but yeah, it's kind of a little encouraging, but a little disappointing at the same time. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I could flip these things around to make it shoot left-handed. Not that I'm too worried about it, but you shouldn't have to go through that kind of garbage just to be able to shoot this properly left-handed, which you will not do in its current setup. And I highly doubt they gave instructions on how to set this up for a left-handed person, because all your wheel guides and everything are all on this side, you know. It's just not a well thought out design, to be honest, and marketing it the way they do, it's false. So just so you know. But anyways, at least we know how bad it is. And we also know that, once again, Barnett is in the losing battle. This is the last Barnett bow, by the way, that I'll ever be purchasing. All right, guys, a little bit of extra research helped to add into the rest of the video. A couple more minutes worth, sorry. Anyhow, They say 27-inch draws, but the best I can find for info on this thing, although that would explain a slight bend in my arm. So either way, I can pull it to 28. It'll fit my wife fine. Um, the poundage, they list at 25 pounds. Well, you know, there's always fudge room. All right, there always is. But I mean, my scale came out to 23 point something, so that's close enough to 25. And but there is the little Banshee, which is a time bomb waiting to explode. You'll find that on the archery forum website. Guy had a little Banshee bow for his kid and took it out, and he pulled it back, and as soon as he felt the relief on it, that kind of scared him, and then the bow exploded in his face, and his hand got nailed and came up, broke his nose. He still can't find the one limb. And somebody down below also commented on the forum that one of these days Barnett is going to get somebody killed with this stuff, because this guy, you know, he won't even trust one of their crossbows, whether it's cocked or not. They're just not quality products, regardless of the price that you're paying for them. They are not safe for human use. So, yeah, or anybody's use. Anyhow, Barnett is kind of on the losing battle. I haven't found anything in the bad remarks yet about the Banshee quad, whether it has any known exploding problems or not, but I do have a lot more homework to do in the meantime. However, just keep in mind that these are not ambidextrous bows. They are compounds, and they are definitely set up for right-handed use only, regardless of their riser being left or right-handed and marketing being ambidextrous left or right. Even a lot of these other bows on Amazon, I'm going to take a look at what I can for pictures on alleged ambidextrous, and I'm pretty much willing to bet that unless it is a specific center shot bow, which Barnett does make one, but stay away anyways, but there are center shot bows even on Amazon that are good quality bows. Those would be left and right handed, but they also wouldn't be compound either. So, you know, that's the thing. You got to really seriously look at stuff carefully, and really you got to understand bows before you buy them, even for your kids, to know what exactly you're getting, you know, so that you don't get screwed over. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you guys in this one. But like I said, the last Barnett bow I'm ever going to purchase. I don't think we need to experiment any further with these things. They are what they are, and they're garbage. And I would suggest stop wasting your money on garbage and put your money into the same types of bows, as far as having a good bow for the same money, not necessarily, the same type of a different brand, because it's still not going to be ambidextrous likely. If you want true ambidextrous, you either go center shot bows, or you go with a real left-handed or a real right-handed bow, in compound or recurve. But recurve bows, you definitely can get recurve bows that are full ambidextrous, left or right, hassle-free, because that's only one string you're dealing with. You're not dealing with a compound design. So if you're looking for an ambidextrous set, that would be the way to go, would be with a actual single string recurve or straight bow. Being center shot or left or right risers, you're fine. But anything compound wise, it doesn't matter if they say ambidextrous, it's not, okay? It is just definitely right-handed, and that's all there is to it. So anyway, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching, and comments as usual down below, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.